when you are the doll, you are an object and you are being controlled. Basically, I mean, it is kind of a power control. You know, it's kind of has the master and sub sort of elements to it. You're just kind of in this kind of object kind of headspace, and you just have to stay completely still.
Zipper Magazine.
Hi, my name is Ludella Hahn, and I specialize in a wide array of niche fetishes. I do like freeze dollifications, breast expansions, belly expansions, robot. Discovering a fetish is you need exposure to them, and if you don't have that exposure, you're not going to know if it's an interest or not. I'd say if there's something that you even have like a twinge of interest in, I would just try it, just look into it. There's lots of different events and parties, and I know that if someone is shy, they might not be willing to go to one of those, but you can even just do baby steps, I guess, at home. If you're feeling like you could use a little extra spice or you're just curious, you know, it's a type of play. I think it's worth trying, especially if you are looking for something, I don't know, just different and fun, and you never know until you try. So, all right, I'm not an expert in this topic. I just know what I've done, and what I enjoy doing, and what I feel like I have somewhat of a talent for in the realm of dollification is freezing. So just being kind of like a posable, frozen kind of like statue doll. So it's not really like a statue, I guess, because you're not like stuck in one spot, but being like a posable doll where you're just kind of in this kind of object kind of headspace, and you just have to stay completely still, and whoever, you know, is controlling you, or however you want to see it, the owner or the maker. Yeah, it's basically, I mean, it is kind of a power control. You know, it's kind of has the master and sub sort of elements to it, in that when you are the doll, you are an object and you are being controlled. The particular dollifications that I tend to film and specialize in, I think it started from that was more of the freeze, you know, just like all of a sudden becoming like a frozen doll mannequin, like a robot that has stopped working. Part of it is just like I'm very good at not blinking for long periods of time, but I also just like that idea of just kind of like challenging myself to be completely still and to be posed and to like have to do the things that you are being made to do. Something I was thinking about is that I consider myself to be a feminist, but there's, for some reason in sexuality, I like enjoy the objectification. So that's like an element of the dollifications that I enjoy. I did like doing, I guess, what they call ragdoll, and robots I don't necessarily consider dollification necessarily, though some of them I guess are, in the sense that I've done some where I start as a human being and then I like transform into being a robot. So in a way it's kind of becoming a doll in a sense. And there is a lot of crossover. Like I do have a lot of fans who are robot fetishists who will still be interested in the freeze videos, and they will just fantasize that I'm a robot that's shut down during those parts. So there is that crossover, but yeah, it's complicated. I mean, everyone gets different things from what they are interested in. So again, I don't want to be saying that I know exactly what I'm talking about. This is just my own personal experience, and what I think I enjoy from filming that is that sense of basically being controlled. Mind control and fucks are also, I consider them two different fetishes that I film and have an interest in, and I consider them to be two different things because of the way that I do it. I'm not entirely sure, again, how other people identify them. I am not an expert. These are just like, I guess, what I grasp from what I've experienced. Sometimes a lot of the stuff that I do is just like me experimenting. And if people like it, then I keep doing more of that. And mind control is, from what I gather, when the person in the video is being controlled. That's how I see it anyway. So I'm being controlled, brainwashed, mesmerized, and a mind is one where I am mesmerizing or messing with the viewer. The difference there would be more of just a lot more messing with the person. It's a lot trippier, kind of makes you feel like you're in a intoxicated state of some kind, like you're just like in another realm. But generally for myself, when I'm doing a mind control, it's me being controlled. And when I do a fuck, it's me messing with whoever's watching and their minds. A lot of people who are very controlling do have that interest when it comes to their intimate life, where they want to have not think about things and let go of that control. For me, I don't like to let go of the control super easily and willingly and submissively. I want it to be taken from me, like the dollifications or mind control. A lot of times when I do breast expansions, I like it to turn into like a bimbofication, which also in a way is kind of like a mind shift. I enjoy playing that like bratty type. Like that's kind of like more of how I consider my dominant side to be. Again, bratty. I guess bratty all around. I think being in the fetish world and working in this industry, you've realized that anything, like absolutely anything, can be a fetish. For anyone who feels like whatever their sexual interests are or their fetish or kink is, that if they're feeling like it's too weird or they're just too afraid to explore it or try it for whatever reason because of some shame that they feel, or they're just afraid of judgment in any kind of way, a lot of people also put a lot of like just their own personal judgment on themselves, maybe from how they were raised, and they're like, it's really just them putting their judgment onto themselves. I would say, as long as you're not hurting someone non-consensually, I feel like there shouldn't be judgment. There's so many people in the world, and everything can be a fetish. There's going to be other people that have that same interest. If sexuality is just, it's a form of play, I feel like whatever your comfort level is, maybe like baby step it in ways to explore that interest of yours, but to try not to be hard on yourself, because like in reality, everyone is weird. So I know you might think that you're weird, but everyone is weird, and everyone has their own bizarre eccentricities. And a piece of advice that I've heard a lot that I found to be really interesting is that a lot of times when we are worried about what other people are going to think about us, like that, a lot of us will spend so much time thinking about that. But in reality, people are usually thinking about themselves. So no one's really looking at you and judging you for what you're doing. They're thinking and concentrating on themselves and their own issues. So I wouldn't let the fear of what other people are going to think get to you, because there are going to be other people who have the same interests as you, and you just need to find them. Or if you're more comfortable, explore your interest on your own for a while. I think that there are other people who will have the same interest. What misconception about kink and or BDSM do I think needs to be obliterated? Probably just the idea that it's like a one-size-fits-all, everything in a box situation. I think there's so many different kinks out there, and it doesn't have to be just one way. It's all just like your own personal experience and what you get from it and what you put into it, and it's personal, and it doesn't have to be like by the book. There is no book. It's all just play.
Real kink for real people. Brought to you by Sunny Megatron and Clips for Sale.